All organisms that lived during the Ediacaran time period lived in the oceans. There was no life on land at this time, except maybe for some bacteria. So when we look at the Ediacaran organisms, we can look at their shape and their size and determine that they probably lived on the seafloor as opposed to up in the water column swimming around like a fish. In Australia, the rocks that the Ediacaran fossils are found in are often rippled. Those ripples were formed hundreds of millions of years ago, the same way they are formed today in modern oceans, which is by the action of moving water. Usually in the ocean, that moving water is due to tides coming in and out. So we can look at those ripples in the rocks and decide that that water was probably pretty shallow, maybe 50 to 100 meters deep, because when you get into even deeper water than that, tides, the moving water, can't affect the very bottom of the ocean, only affects the top part. So based on that sedimentological information, we can determine that the Ediacaran fauna, the organisms that lived in the Ediacaran in Australia, lived in relatively shallow waters. In other parts of the world where Ediacaran fossils are found, they are found in rocks that are not rippled. And these rocks are very different than the Australian rocks, and they look like they were deposited in much deeper water, perhaps even up to hundreds of meters deep.